Also, Mike's like, it's deadline day. What are we doing? You know what we're doing? We're humanizing.
Stop humanizing.
Yeah, these are people. These are human beings.
She's an NFL insider, and right now, NFL insiders are the most popular people on the planet. I'm not sure if you've seen your timeline, but the discourse is crazy, and people are supporting Diana's line of work. Diana, what do you make of this? It's been a week worth of dialogue here. Pablo actually did make some sense in the clip that I saw about journalism, and my main takeaway is, why are we just so accustomed to every source being anonymous? We know where this is coming from. This seems like a ridiculous practice. So where are you on the current discourse?
Okay, first,
that's your deadline question.
For those that were listening and heard the Miami question, I can sum it quickly, right? So Chris Greer gets fired. There is belief that the head coach is still the right guy. They really believe that he has not lost the locker room. I know last time we talked about this and Greg was asking me for specific examples on why I thought the team was giving up on him, and I didn't have any good ones. And I wound up making some calls. I was actually really glad he pinned me down on it because I made some calls after the show, and even I wrote about it in my column that week that the players were still bought in, and he hasn't, and they still think he's the right guy. So look, it's going to come down to Stephen Ross making this decision, but this isn't one of these situations where I have a date circled on my calendar like, oh, if he doesn't win this many games, he's getting fired. They're trying to get him through the season, and I think when the new GM comes in, then they'll have heavier discussions. But so far, I'm not super concerned about Mike. So I don't know how you feel about that, but that's the intel I have for now. As for the narratives, the conversations, the very strong opinions from hot takers and analysts and consumers of news, I feel like there's two camps right now. There's people that just want the information and they don't care if I say per my mailman or, per my dog, right? They don't care. I have really good friends of mine that I respect who like the fake accounts too. They're like, whatever, if they know something and they have a scoop because the guy at the deli told them, great. They just want the information. And then there's another camp of they don't really care about the information as much as who's giving it to the reporters. That seems to be the hang up. And I think agents are the most hated people in our space because they're trying to control obviously the money and the perception of their clients, and they use us. But most of us don't just rely on agents. The transaction game is vapor, right? Like, you guys know that. It's so stupid. Like, Woj gave me this advice years ago. He's like, do not waste your time on that. And it's true. And by the way, he was the king of it, right? Like, he was like Mr. Transaction. Yeah. But he was sharing that as hey, I learned that once you're all in on the transaction game, you kind of can't get out. I think it's good to do transactions because it shows the audience and the fans that people and you can get the scoop. But I think that the better kind of journalism, and obviously Pablo is a wonderful example of that right now, and really the stuff that we do at The Athletic, not to be all promo of my own company, where we dig a little and we take a little bit more time and we're not as pressed to get it out in that exact moment. Most of the time when I'm tweeting that stuff about transactions, things, and trades, it's my own little psychotic competitiveness. Like, no one at The Athletic's like, go beat Adam or you're fired. They don't care at all. They're like, tell us why. Mm-hmm. Explain, pull back the curtain a bit. So from the luxury of that, that's a wonderful place. It's why I love working where I do. But at the same time, there is a rat race to this. People love the info, and it's awesome to win. So I think the original question was, Mike, do we have to keep saying per source when it's so obvious who we're talking to, right? I think until people are comfortable just admitting that they talk to us, because that's the problem. Like, I was at a game on Sunday. I was at the Giants San Francisco 49ers game. The people I talk to the most from both those teams won't even wave to me. Like, they don't even want to look my way because they're so paranoid to be seen as the one that talked to me. So that's why I always laugh. Like, if you see me talking to somebody, they definitely don't text me. Like, they don't talk to me. They don't give me any scoop. Like, it's almost like you're better off being around me because then it's a way of protecting yourself.
Diana, how active are the Dolphins still today after the Jalen Phillips trade?
Active. They're taking calls. They're obviously not buyers. But teams around the league have an understanding that they are willing to listen on a lot of players, almost every player. I don't think they're going to make all these deals, but I think the tone there has changed over the last few days or so, where more teams are calling them, knowing, okay, maybe it's a different business venture now that Chris Greer is no longer there.
Diana, Washington is dealing with injuries. Jaden Daniels is hurt again. Do you think we're going to see a fire sale from the Commanders?
I don't. I think they're going to definitely sell. I don't think they're selling at a cheap price to just move on to next season. No. They were looking for a pass rusher over the last few weeks. They're not giving up on this season, but it's been a weird one, right? Like they're that team that we're going, little black cloud, right? Between them and the San Francisco 49ers. I just feel like they can't catch a break, especially, in terms of the injury situations there. They've got these older players. Obviously, we discussed Dan Quinn and his decision to keep Jaden in the game. They're just, for a team that was so electric last year and I think had a lot of potential to be good. Things are just not swinging their way. But I don't think this is an organization that's like, let's just sell it all off. I think right now they're trying to keep this thing intact.
Another team that seems to be falling apart is the Cincinnati Bengals. Me and Zaz had a lot of fun yesterday listening to Jamar Chase.
Offense and defense are going to fight.
Yeah, like they hate each other. They hate each other. They're openly war of words in the media against each other. There's no way that this whole thing stays together, right, in Cincinnati?
And it's so bad. That's to me, like, forget reporting and press conferences. When it's individual players essentially taking passive aggressive and sometimes just aggressive shots at each other, it's the worst of the worst, right? Because that just tells you the culture, and that means from the top down, it's not good. And they know it. I talk to people in Cincy, like the players know, like it's been a hard year for them, and obviously Joe Burrow is the center of all of this, and he kind of represented the hope of, if we could just get through, and Joe will get back. And timelines with injuries, as you guys know, it's so hard to predict. Like, great, awesome. In most cases, coming off a turf toe injury, surgery, you're back in this many weeks. But look at Brock Purdy. He didn't even have surgery. He's got the turf toe. He was expected to be back like 4 weeks ago. He's still not playing, right? So like you just never know. So I never liked this theory that, let's just get through these games and then Joe can save the day, because that wasn't a fact. So I think for now, Cincinnati is listening. They're taking calls. Trey Hendrickson's the biggest name right now in terms of teams calling, trying to gauge the scenario. As of yesterday, they were still looking for a first-round pick in exchange for him. But I can tell you, other teams that I've been talking to this morning, and even later yesterday afternoon, they think they're going to lower their price. They think they're going to drop that on Trey. We'll see if they do it. This is other teams predicting what the Bengals will do. This isn't the Bengals telling me this. So we'll see if they change their price for Trey and move on from him. It would make sense for them to do it.
Diane, I got one more on the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel. The fact that it appears that Mike McDaniel could be the coach still next season for the Dolphins, is it possible then that Stephen Ross believes that Tua is the problem?
Oh yeah, I think it's very fair. I think that's going to be, without a doubt, the story of the offseason of what will they do with Tua? Is this the right marriage? Right? Is he the right quarterback for Mike McDaniel? If this is the direction they want to go in, right? Like, what I want to know is what happened, right? Like, Tua got paid, which he deserved it, and something changed, and what happened internally, and I think that's going to be stuff we'll be digging on over the next few weeks.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
What?
Ace Hardware, 13 times 3 equals panini sandwich. Hello. Oh, sorry, CTE kicked in again. It's the fun CTE, though. It's the fun kind.